It is Friday, the 14th of June, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Here we are again, talking about Lemon Demon. I want to not talk about artists too closely together, but I had to talk about Lemon Demon this week, which is why I actually decided to do the other Lemon Demon song last week, because I thought this was a weird one to start with for Lemon Demon. But here we are. We're talking about Neil Cicierega again, the Renaissance man that he is, the man that you are. Specifically, we're talking about some songs from his album Dinosaurchestra. Now, you'll notice I said some songs instead of a song, because in keeping with the animal theme, we're talking about the title track here, but the title track is told over 3 tracks, tracks 1, 9, and 18. There's not enough substance to talk about each one individually on separate episodes, but all together, I can certainly talk about them. So, there's a YouTube video of all 3 songs together. There's a YouTube video of a music video someone made of all 3 songs together. I'm going to make a Spotify playlist. It's just the 3 songs, so it's easier than picking them out of the album. However you want to listen to it, that's what we're going to do. It tells its own narrative, so you'll be able to understand what happens in the lyrics. So I don't think there's any more preamble I need to give you. So let's listen to it now and then come back and talk about it in a few minutes. And there you have it. Listening to it just now, I watched the fan video because I hadn't actually watched it in a while, and I forgot that it cuts a little bit of the transitions between the songs out and also gets out of sync at the end, so bear that in mind. Still, otherwise, a great animation. Anyway, yeah, so that's the story of the Dinosaurchestra. It's an odd one, certainly, but I love the progression of the story, the way it kind of goes from sweet to silly to dark. You know, that's a recurring theme in Lemon Demon's work. And also the kind of recurring musical elements throughout it. So let's start going through it. Part 1 starts with, travel back in time with me, 200 million BC. Well, strictly speaking, it starts with a ticking clock, which Neil has said are exactly 1 second apart, the ticks of the clock. So that introduces the time travel theme already. And then, yeah, 200 million BC is approximately the start of the Jurassic period. What's your name and what do you play? My name's Neil and I don't play anything. What fun should we have today? Shook my magic 8-ball and it said, let's rock out in a Dinosaurchestra. So, you know, he has this conversation with the dinosaurs when he arrives. Immediately it's so silly because he's time traveling, the dinosaurs can talk. You're immediately just have to be like, okay, I'm accepting the fiction we're doing here. I also love that the magic 8-ball says, let's rock out in a Dinosaurchestra. Not yes or definitely or whatever, specifically that. Let's all shout in a Dinosaurchestra. Let's have fun in a Dinosaurchestra. Let's eat children in a Dinosaurchestra, which is a funny bit of a throwaway line, but it's a strange one to have there. The thing I love about the Magic 8-Ball line specifically is that, like, this album's from 2006, and it really just feels like such an artifact to talk about Magic 8-Balls. They're just not a thing anymore, really. I suppose I would have had one in 2006, so I guess it makes sense as a reference here. Anyway, part 1's pretty short, and then part 2 again starts with the ticking clock, and it just has the la 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 do 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 do, and you've got like different instruments playing. You got the Jew's harp, you got the kazoo, and the verse is just Brontosaur rocking out hardcore, Triceratops pissing off the cops, Iguanodon with a mohawk on, hip hurrah for the Dinosaurchestra. Just a very simple middle part. It's just got those lyrics and a bit of musical experimentation, different instruments, and not much to say about this part really. Just a nice little bit. I do love the way it ends with the kazoo's going do 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 do. Don't know why, but I do. Oh, something I forgot to say about part 1. In the commentary, he pointed out that part of it is a reversed part of the song Deep in the Ocean later from the album, which I didn't know until researching this, which is wild. That's really interesting. Now, part 3 is where it gets real interesting. So we get the ticking clock again, and we get a vocoder voice saying Dinosaurchestra over and over again, which is, of course, Neil with a vocoder. And then we have, we can't return to present. This may be less than pleasant. So something's wrong with his time machine, which makes me think of The Broken Bride by Ludo, and man, I need to talk about that EP. That'll take up most of a week if I do it. It's 5 songs, and I can't just do them all in one day like this. Anyway, so there's something wrong with the time machine. They can't return to present. And then Neil notices that the meteor that rendered the dinosaurs extinct is on the way, which is, actually chronologically incorrect if he's only at the start of the Jurassic period, unless he rocked out with them for like 135 million years. But yeah, what's that rock way up in the sky? That's our friend Super Duper Meteor. Does this mean we're all gonna die? Shook my magic 8-ball, and it said, as a powerful and complex computer of near omniscience, I can report with total confidence after a careful 0.3 seconds calculating a whole world of probabilities and statistics that yes, we are all going to die. Again, I mean, yes, it's getting dark because it's about the extinction event, right? But calling it super duper meteor and the magic 8-ball suddenly becoming really eloquent and saying that they're all going to die, very funny, very silly. But what I love as well is that the word die immediately transitions into the chorus of Dinosaurchestra. So we're all gonna Dinosaurchestra. I love that so much. Then we get the second verse. We'll all be blown up real soon, but not before we're in tune. Won't you be a good dinosaur? We must be before we're not. Treat these creatures to an encore. One last time is all we've got. So they decide to go out like the violinists on the Titanic, playing music while the meteor reaches the Earth. Ooh, like Majora's Mask. That's another comparison we can make. It's the moon hitting the hidden Termina. I love the line, won't you be a good dinosaur? We must be before we're not. Because I had assumed it meant that, like, the dinosaurs just kind of misunderstood the question and were like, oh, we're all good dinosaurs. That's just kind of how that works. We must be before we're not. But I realized, analyzing the lyrics closer here, it's more like, we must be good dinosaurs before we cease to exist. Before we're not. We do not exist. Then, you know, they treat these creatures to an encore. Like, yeah. And then you get, so let's rock out in a Dinosaurchestra. Let's all shout in a Dinosaurchestra. Let's have fun in a Dinosaurchestra one last time before we have to die. So the recurring element between the songs, apart from the words Dinosaurchestra and the general tune and the ticking clock, I love how in this bit you have the do 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 and you have the la 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 from part 2. I love that they reprise that in there, you know. And then you get the one last time before we have to Dinosaurchestra. And then he says, before we have to die in a super colossal explosion and all become fossils for people to dig up someday. Now, Neil has stated that canonically they do not die, they are saved in some way, but I think it's more interesting that they die. Sorry. I mean, it's more historically accurate for one thing, because this story is so concerned with historical accuracy. And then the bridge is just listing a bunch of genres of music with dinosaur at the front. Dinosaur punk, dinosaur rap, dinosaur ska, dinosaur country, dinosaur blues, dinosaur jazz, dinosaur techno, dinosaur pop, dinosaur soul, dinosaur rock, dinosaur. And then you just get Dinosaurchestra repeated over and over again until the end. And fading out as... I love when songs do this. The music kind of becomes murkier as it fades out. It phases out and fades out. It's like... like... I love that effect. It sounds like it's underwater by the end. And then the clock keeps ticking. Yeah, I love this trilogy of songs. And I really wanted to talk about it for Animal Week because it's a really fun story. It's a really fun image thinking of all these dinosaurs playing in this band. It's got the darkness to it, but it's also very silly and also very sweet. It's kind of emotionally affecting for a silly song about dinosaurs playing guitars, you know. I don't think I have much else to say about it, really. This is probably going to be a really short episode. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What did you think? Leave me a comment below. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. Recommend this show to a friend, to an enemy, to a family member. And I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.
It is Friday, the 14th of May, 2024. That's incorrect. I mean, it's more historically accurate for one thing, because this story is so concerned with historical accuracy. I wonder if my fart was picked up by the microphone. I don't think I have much else to say about it, really. This is probably going to be a really short episode. I also really need to piss, so...